right, I think we're recording now. All right, cool. So just know that everything you say can and will be used in a court against you, or whatever the fucking Miranda rights are. Yeah, so introduce yourselves, and I'll just leave this part out. I won't.
I mean, I'll start.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, my name is Christian Aquendo.
Speaking to the mic. Yeah.
My name is Christian Aquendo.
Okay.
I am a degenerate in every sense of the word.
Yes.
I go around.
Go around,
I
all
just
right.
creep people out.
That's what's up.
And I ask inappropriate questions. And sometimes I get too close to somebody and I breathe too heavily on them.
Yo,
And,
isn't that the worst?
That is the worst.
That is absolutely the worst.
But I am the worst kind of person. So,
Okay.
just so you know. That's me.
All right.
Yep.
And you?
My name is Katniss Everdeen, and
Katniss. Okay.
archery and
archery. All right.
archery and all that
freedom,
stuff.
right? Don't you run a country or some shit now?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
You know, there was a woman who actually was like trying to like overrule everybody, and then I killed her. So,
Yeah, she was kind of a bitch. I remember.
She
that.
was not really
I've
great.
never seen this series, but
Oh no.
I did not. That's good.
No.
Really? Okay. All right.
missing out.
And you are?
Bella Swan, because I'm
Bella Swan?
awkward as hell.
Wait, is that the?
Chick from Twilight.
Okay,
you know?
yeah.
Like
Favorite.
I run,
I
but
I
I
love
can't
her.
run with vampires because they're super fast. Yeah, so it's cool.
But
And I also had a
I was gonna
garbage truck, so not literal garbage truck, like a,
Okay.
my truck was just a piece of garbage. So
All right.
I relate on a spiritual
Nice.
level.
I'm so bad at this.
Yeah, and I'm Scott Pilgrim. I just got out of a lengthy relationship, trying to.
You know what it is? She has a microchip in her brain.
So
and she cannot
we
do
we
anything
we
other
worked
than-
past that, and she's still, I don't know, fixated, and whatever. I
I've never
can't
seen that
control-
movie.
You haven't?
I
No.
saw part.
I don't. Is it a?
It's my favorite movie when I was 20. I don't care.
Many moons ago.
Many
like,
moons ago.
This dude.
And I can
gets-
still quote it.
This dude gets with like a manic pixie dream girl.
This
because
is the
that's what
Michael.
she is.
This is the Michael Cera movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is because that's what she is, right? And he has to like fight off her evil exes.
Like
Yeah.
7 of them, right?
Yeah, like
Seven.
7 of them.
Dear God.
Yeah.
Super. Okay, yeah, this is.
And I don't know if it's worth it, really.
What's worse, trying to untangle this or trying to untangle headphones? Well, it's pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same. All right. What we could
Phone
do
cords
is
are worse.
restart this, right? But this time we all just pull back and we don't get our own thing. We have to restart and do all the instructions all over again. We're only 2 minutes in.
we're
or
good.
we can just suffer through this and just.
We could just suffer through
All right.
this.
I
think
mean,
this
so
is
yeah,
fine.
principle least effort. That's I'm seeing that as a going trend. Is that something like most law students practice?
Oh yeah.
What?
What part? What is it?
The principle of least effort.
Yeah.
Like, 2 options. You go with the option which gives
Yeah.
you.
You know, that would be the smart thing, but I never do the smart thing.
Okay.
I make the most work for myself
That-
physically possible, so
That's
that's
true.
that.
You gotta cover your bases.
The law of diminishing returns.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the word.
that's it. That's
also
the law
it,
that I
yeah.
live by.
You know, one thing.
No, I don't know. Why would you say that?
Why are you
Why
cutting
would
off
you
my
introduce-
why are you cutting off my introduction?
Why would you introduce
Yes.
a conversation with you know?
Please let Christian speak.
Because thank you, Mr. Pilgrim. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, I was actually talking to a bunch of ABA reps recently.
Of course.
ABA
And
being.
American Bar Association.
I see, okay.
So essentially, American Bar Association sets, from what I understand, the standards of law schools and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking at me like I'm kidding, but this is a true story. This happened like a few days ago, as a part of the internship, and they were actually asking us about mental health and law school and stuff like that. Yeah, I know, and yeah, no, that was my
For
my
everyone
response.
out there, this is laugh worthy. This is
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
It is a joke.
It's
Can
a
I-
Mental
joke.
health.
And-
What is that?
And I
Yeah.
and I told I'm sorry. I told them like whatever initiatives you're trying to take to help people, to help law students in terms of managing stress, managing their mental condition or whatever it is, it's not working, and it feels to me that it's just posturing because you have to do it. And I'll tell you why. Because one, the way that you've made a system where you've made it mandatory curving, that might help the school. It may help your employers because they have to sift through fewer resumes. But you've made this environment where it's incredibly hostile. You're competing against your closest friends that you should probably collaborate with, because most of legal work is collaboration. Like I would wager, right?
Yeah.
You're very rarely ever alone. And it's just not working in terms of mental health, because once you throw somebody in that situation, it's not going to work. And they gave me some answer where it's like, yeah, we're trying to address that. We don't know if we want to change that, but if we change it, it's going to be years from now.
Of course.
But essentially, they indicated that they were happy with how it is. And that was very upsetting. And I asked them, like, hey, I understand that ABA reps came into a lot of law schools recently. What was that about? Remember when they asked select people, they didn't ask me.
Well,
I want that to go on the record.
Yeah, I mean, I was one of them, but the reps aren't there yet. We talked to two deans and 2 professors because the ABA reps are coming in the fall to talk to us about accreditation. So
Wow.
I would love to,
Okay.
be
Spill
honest,
some
but
tea.
right. Well, and so I talked to one of our friends about this, and he was like, "Well, if you shoot our school's accreditation down, then we're graduating from an unaccredited
Correct.
school." Which,
Yeah.
at the same time, I'm kind of like, "Well, yeah, but also, they're not going to change anything."
Don't you get grandfathered in though? Like if you started,
I think so.
If you started school, if you started attending the law school before they revoked the accreditation, you will still have graduated from an accredited law school because you had no control over that.
I thought so,
but for the new class, it would not.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't there be like a certain stigma that follows you where it's like even if you get grandfathered in?
That's like people who are
Churro?
teachers and
Oh, well, I was saying that.
people.
Wow,
There was
two different wavelengths,
a teaching college out on Long Island that. It closed. I don't think it was an accreditation issue, but
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, I graduated from wherever," and it's like, "Oh, well, that school doesn't exist anymore." I don't think it's. I think it's more of a. I don't know. I guess there's a stigma.
Yeah, I
that goes
remember
around
in
it,
my
but-
year we had there's a school called Polytechnical that got purchased by NYU. So they had the opposite effect where all the incoming class were now NYU grads, and so that was kind of cool for them.
Can we do
They
that for
didn't
every
get-
school? That's
Yeah,
fun.
right?
I like
But
that.
they didn't get grandfathered in, right? The people that had already graduated,
Yeah,
they can't say
but-
like we graduated
but
from NYU Poly.
But the Polytech classes who were a year before, even if they were just shy of graduating, they still graduated Polytech.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when I find out a place that does that, when I have some insider information, I'm just going to
Well,
start
I mean,
going to school again.
you would need the 4-year head start, so it have to be a transfer.
Nah, it's too much. I'm done with school after this. It's too much. I'm
Yeah.
done.
This is our last summer vacation.
Maybe I'll go get my
Yeah.
LLM after this.
Me too.
Will you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was thinking about doing like a criminal law LLM, but it's like it's worthless. It's not going to help you with anything.
Well,
LLM.
It's like a master's in law.
Yeah. On top of what you.
It's like your
already have.
master's, but they just call it something cooler.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's a master's.
It's a master's, all right.
It's-
I thought
that's
law
exciting.
itself was a master's degree. Isn't it?
No.
No, it's a doctorate.
It's a
Doctorate,
doctorate, yeah, and
Which
it's
is
a
weird.
professional degree.
Yeah.
It's one of 2 professional degrees, right? Or 3.
What are the other
two
ones?
being,
Well, medical and
dentistry.
yeah, medical and
veterinary.
engineering.
Veterinary, you're a doctor as well,
Right,
technically.
right. Like anything in the medical field. Well, not anything. But I also thought like it was engineering.
It might be. I don't know. I don't.
I dated a guy who did engineering for undergrad, but I don't know if that's a different. Well, that would be a Bachelor of Science. But I don't know if he did.
So recently they had a whole issue because like the word engineering has been co-opted by like software engineers, and so there's a huge because engineering used to be like I don't want to say the word like legitimate field, but like it was a regulated field rather.
Yeah.
You had like I guess similarly to how I guess the law system or like the bar
'cause
system
it's
works.
physical.
Yeah, there's
physical
physically you got a
buildings.
card, you got a registry. There was a part like there was a thing that you had.
Yeah.
And there's this kid going around saying I'm an engineer now, and so one kid got really one adult got really like aggravated, and I think ended up going to the Supreme Court, and eventually they were like, yeah, it's everyone's an engineer, everyone wants to be so like.
That's like the debate now is like childcare is infrastructure. Like
Yes.
Yeah.
what? Okay.
Reminds me of the CPLR in architecture, where it's like one of those.
God,
Yeah.
Why do
I
you
don't
have
even
to
know.
bring it
I
up?
don't even know what that is.
Yeah. I was gonna
So
say.
you
Civil
CPLR.
practice, laws and rules of New York.
Well, I'm glad one
You
of
know,
us
it's
knows.
just for shits and giggles, Katniss. Anyone, any abbreviation, just go ahead and just
Yeah.
elaborate that just for the first time. Just,
it's the civil practice legal.
Wait a
rules.
minute.
I thought you said laws and regulations.
Yeah.
Laws and it's a civil practice.
Civil
law-
practice laws and
and
rules of New York.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Civil
It's
practice legal.
Oh, they're bringing back Twilight. Sorry, it's
Are
on.
they?
It's on Netflix.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Like they're remaking it?
No, God heavens, no. Okay.
Yeah, like the
Oh,
movies
God.
are on Netflix now instead of like Amazon
I
Prime
hope they
or
never
whatever.
remake that and it just
No.
ends up in a dark hole
Wait,
somewhere.
have you guys read all the books? Like
Yes.
Yeah.
I need to read Midnight Sun though. I think that's what the 5th one is called.
Oh, the one that
newest
got
one?
leaked.
Yes.
It got leaked.
And then
That's
there's
one from
also
Renesmee's point of view.
I don't know. I actually have no idea.
Yeah, I thought
but
the new one was going to be from Edward's
point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was what like.
Yeah.
Wait, did that already happen?
I gave up on that.
Shaking
Well,
now?
Shit,
they
no,
made
yeah.
one like a gender reversed one, which of course I'm
Oh.
not going to remember the name now. But like if you look for like my library carries Twilight, the whole series and everything. One of them had that story affixed to the back of it, so you have to flip the book over and it's a new one.
the vampire was
The girl.
the girl. You know that. Would you date a
Interesting.
vampire?
Yes.
Oh my
You
god.
would. Like,
Yeah.
they would need to suck on your blood for
I'm
sustenance.
okay with that.
You're okay with that?
Yeah. Dude, life is so boring without like some sort of
Does-
supernatural.
Does Edward need to like
No.
ingest blood?
Well, yes, he does, but they
Yeah,
go.
but they're
they go for,
vegetarians.
they go for animals.
They don't eat people.
They don't eat people.
Well,
Oh, they're
suck
like
people's
they're
blood.
like Angel. Do
They
you remember
suck
when he was?
animal
Yes.
blood.
Yeah.
not
Angel.
people
Yeah, Angel
Yeah,
was Spike.
Angel
I mean,
was like rummaging around
Yeah.
like the streets of New York, like looking on rats to feed on.
Yep.
Have
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys seen Angel?
Buffy.
Buffy?
Spinoff?
No.
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 Okay. We're dating
It's before
ourselves,
it's
but-
before my time.
Yeah, we're dating ourselves. Yeah. For
Yeah,
touch.
Buffy was before my time.
Yeah, me too. No, I'm just kidding. I know the whole cast. Wait, Allison. No, Allison.
So the Edward
Hannis-
family,
Hannigan.
they had their own like blood cattle. Or
I mean, no.
They
Well,
were-
they
yeah.
lived in like
They lived in like
Forks,
forest area.
Washington, in the forest. So just run and go eat a deer or like
Yeah.
a
Wait a
wolf or a
minute.
Wait,
panther,
it was
whatever the
Island.
hell.
I
Yeah.
think you're talking about Twilight. I think
Wait,
he's talking about
oh.
Buffy.
No,
No.
he's
No,
talking about Twilight. He's talking about
I'm
Twilight.
talking about Twilight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would just go like rummaging in the
No, they
forest.
didn't
so
have a
you had
farm.
deers in Staten Island.
So
dude.
would they kill the deer, or would they like if I were to roam around that
They would kill
forest,
the deer.
would I find like a whole bunch of deer
Carcasses?
with like
Yeah.
no, not carcasses,
Oh.
like
Yeah,
bite
with
marks on their
Band-Aids on
necks.
their
No, no,
Yeah.
yeah.
No.
No,
They-
but I
Oh,
feel like
how would they dispose of the deer after that? Is that what you're saying?
But no. My issue is like it seems to me
Yes.
that they can get their food from a supermarket.
No,
but they can
they need
let
blood.
the deer live and procreate, so they have more cattle
No,
to feed
they
on.
need
No,
blood.
they can't. They need like the
Yeah.
actual like.
Yeah, life
blood.
force.
They
yeah,
can't
you can
just-
bite into the thing. And
It's not like they eat venison and they're like, we're
yeah,
good
can't
now.
yeah,
stop.
it's
There's
the
a blood
actual,
frenzy.
Yeah, there's like a metaphysical aspect to it.
So you need for that metaphysical element to be fulfilled, you need to kill
Correct.
the victim.
No,
or
no, 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 no.
the
You
animal.
can like the victim can like be sustained, I guess, but that's
Okay.
torture, right? And plus,
But I mean,
it's
like
the
you
whole
can make
family's
a,
feeding. So
I feel
just
like if you
kill it,
needed
yeah.
to do that, you can make like a small incision on the deer.
Plus, I believe that their venom is also like not numbing agent,
Yeah.
something like that, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
then they could just
Something like
like
that.
capture a deer and just feed on it, and after they're done having their fill, the deer will probably be a little anemic, but they give it some sugar and let it go.
There's a lot of deer. Deer has always been a problem. People go hunting for deer all the time.
This,
Yeah,
is,
but
this,
like-
is a, this is a
is a
story
very-
for
yeah.
teenagers.
You have to read
I
the
don't think
books and
they
then you'll
thought this far
understand.
into
Yeah.
it.
Well, make me understand. Like,
Okay.
Well, the blood frenzy. They're like when a vampire in this series at
Mm-hmm.
least like tastes blood, they go into the frenzy and then
Yeah.
they don't stop. Like it just is what it is.
Okay.
They'll drink the deer dry and then whatever.
oh, so they
that's right,
they can't
yes.
control themselves. Is what
Correct.
You're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for I won't give it away, but
Somebody
read the book.
I mean,
or
you
watch
can
the
spoil
movies,
it.
whatever.
I'm not gonna. Probably
Carlisle.
not.
It's for the listeners.
Yeah,
She's not ruining it.
Oh, sorry. Well, it's like it's his job to like be in that situation, right?
What?
We're thinking about the
What
same
do you
person.
Oh no, that's
Oh, okay.
different. That's
Alright,
different. That's
okay.
not what I was talking about.
Alright.
Like they can control themselves around humans, though. Some of them, which
Because
is
they're trained.
Because that
they
would be-
like Carlisle and Edward and that whole
So
family
can they
drinks
not like
animal
train
blood.
themselves to like be control themselves around
Carl,
animals?
He's got like a million. Dude, why? They're animals, dude.
Well,
I
they
mean-
hunt predators too,
Yeah.
though. So like the things that would kill the deer, they drink those things.
Yeah.
Like a not a cheetah, panther, whatever
Pumas,
the
whatever fucking cats are out
yeah,
there.
whatever's there.
I
yeah,
would
don't
like
know.
you to do a 10-page report on vampires.
I know. I'm
and then
very
come
curious.
back to us.
No, I
with
really like
your
vampires
findings.
as an
Because
idea.
I can imagine, like, you have now introduced in effect an invasive species into
Yeah.
the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh my god.
right?
Yeah.
Like, who are predating vampires?
There is a natural predator, an actual supernatural
Werewolves?
predator. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Are werewolves actually predators, or are they just beefing with each other?
They beef with each
Um,
other, which serves the same purpose as a predator prey situation. Like
Yeah.
in an
But, like,
ecosystem, they can just talk to each other.
could
It's
go
cool.
either
No,
way.
I mean like
Yeah.
predators don't beef. You know, like predators.
Well,
Yeah,
predators
they do.
would beef
Hunt for
wouldn't beef if they
sustenance.
could talk to each other. I stand by
Well,
that.
well,
comment. I
the
stand by
werewolves
that
are
comment.
beefing with the vampires because the werewolves don't want the humans.
Yeah.
The werewolves are the natural protectors of the humans.
Yeah.
So they beef with the vampires because they want them off the land. You know, they
Kind
don't
of like
want
West
them.
Side Story. You ever see West Side
Yeah.
Story?
Yes.
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 There you go.
It's West Side Story.
It's basically West Side Story, but super.
Are,
I mean,
are you
I
normally
was-
this derivative? Not derivative. Someone for.
It will come to you.
Yeah, I'll get it.
But yeah,
I,
All right.
I was always Team Jacob. I
Yeah,
just
Team
wanted
Jacob
to-
all day, day.
Yeah.
love him.
Anywho,
They did him so
They
dirty.
did him so dirty. dude. I
Truly,
had fun with
truly
that.
so dirty.
And he got Bella.
Was that there?
Yeah, or
There was
it?
this rumor where it's like,
Yeah, he's a pedophile.
well,
I mean,
I
not
was going to say
exactly
that he marked.
Yeah, imprinted.
imprinted, but yes.
But how do you imprint somebody?
Well, it's
they don't
supernatural.
really explain it. Yeah,
Yeah.
like because it's just a wolf
It's just love at
thing,
first sight, dude.
so-
It just happens.
Yeah,
like
it just
he
happens.
looked into her eyes and that was it.
And that was it.
As a baby?
As a baby. Yeah.
And he saw the future, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, like
Because it's like soul. That's the whole point of Twilight, right? It's like the idea of like everlasting love. That's like that's like the whole like.
I mean,
gist
that's
of it.
that's more than a little creepy.
No, it's not because that's why people like vampires. Vampires are like immortal who like they essentially suck your life force. But they're like
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
the idea behind it is
Edward's a
like-
cradle robber
Yeah.
if you think about it. He's
Yeah.
like 1,000 years old, and Bella's what,
Literally.
17?
I mean, okay, like at least you can make an argument for that, right? But like a baby,
Dude, the baby.
But I mean, he's
it's
not
the-
doing anything with
Yeah.
the baby. He's protecting the baby.
Yeah.
Like he's her guardian.
He's her guardian.
Is the idea. Like
He's whatever she needs her to be, or he.
yeah,
needs-
like
needs
it's
him
not
to be.
necessarily romantic unless she wants it to be romantic, and then in which case it will be. But unless and until
I've always wanted to ask that
she
question, by
said
the
it,
way.
it wouldn't be.
I always want to ask that question because, like, actually, I want to
Yes.
ask someone, but like, she doesn't have to like love him back,
No.
and like he can potentially like always third wheel. But, like I always feel like out of
Ouch.
courtesy, no, and that's what like that's my biggest fear because like she knows that over him. She knows that whatever she needs of him, that's it. He's like my man slave essentially. But like I can essentially like look all the way, and you know she's already supernatural too, so she can do whatever the fuck she wants. She doesn't need Jacob. I guess Jacob's the only person who can keep up with her, but she can just as easily turn someone else, and then actually she can't turn anybody. 'Cause she's
oh
half.
right,
Yeah.
because she got turned into. Wait, so hang on. So
Anyway, moving on. This is way too much. Yeah,
Is it?
age is showing
We're
out.
talking about monarchs.
We're talking about monarchs. Yeah. Well, how did we get on this
we can
topic?
talk about that if that's not too
Because
much.
my name is Bella Swan.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was
Yeah.
Bella. Yeah, and it is on Netflix.
Yeah.
Whole
Anyway.
conversation,
So
yeah.
just a quick question: if a vampire and a human procreate and have a child,
Yes.
is that child
Ooh,
a human
That's book
or a
4.
vampire?
Well, again, I don't want to spoil. It kind of
There's
gives
a whole
away.
thing behind that.
Yeah,
Really?
like
So,
yeah.
so basically, if you ask the question again, if it's like, oh, are they a human or a vampire? The answer is just, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to
Yes.
clarify to which one.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, we could put a spoiler alert. Okay.
No one's gonna listen to this, but us.
Okay,
And
then
maybe
you can-
like.
you
But I don't want to spoil it for
Dude,
you. I
all right,
feel like
no,
you
no.
should experience
No,
I
you
it.
don't
don't
want to
want
experience
to
Twilight,
experience
dude. You don't want to believe
Although
me. You don't want to
the
experience
baby,
Twilight.
the CGI baby was pretty creepy. I gotta say.
I like the
So
actor.
if there's CGI involved, I'm assuming that it's something.
there was, and it
So-
was pretty good. I will say that.
So
it
it's
was pretty
vampire.
No, it was kind of creepy.
good. No, I
Or a
mean,
hybrid.
It's a living, breathing being.
Well,
It's
well,
an entity.
living, in quotations.
oh, because
it's a
vampires are
demigod.
undead.
Yes. They
So
are.
yeah, there are vampires.
I don't know what they are. I actually don't remember. It's been so long
It's
since I read the book.
well, she's half and half. The baby.
Oh, okay.
She's hybrid, and there's only one other that
So
they're aware of.
how can
like
you be
her, but
dead? Sorry, how can you be living and undead at the same time?
she's not undead.
She's not undead.
She's living.
So how is she a
Right.
vampire?
She's not a vampire.
she has
But-
abilities.
Yeah, she's vampire abilities though.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And isn't she only going to get like to a certain age and then
Yeah.
she stops?
Stop.
stops aging
Yeah.
and just
Oh, so
stays.
you get
there.
all
Which is why the imprinting isn't so weird.
Yeah, exactly. Because she's
She'll
like
age
she
out when
ages
Yeah, like
real
that.
quick.
when she
yeah.
turns and when she turns Jacob's age, she'll be like, "Oh, I'm done," and then
Yeah.
she'll be like that forever.
yeah,
So you get all the benefits. without
exactly,
Any of the drawbacks.
exactly.
Yep.
But none of the
Wow.
drawbacks,
And she can live.
which is why it's so dangerous for them.
And she can live on either human
Yeah.
food or blood.
Yeah.
But the caveat being that if a human woman carries said child, is extremely rare for the woman to live through said
Oh,
child.
that's where the
Yeah.
trauma
Which is
comes
why
in.
then she
Yes.
turned into a vampire.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
Spoiler alert.
That's it.
Okay.
That's Twilight for you.
So monarch butterflies.
So monarch butterflies is awesome because they have a very like so on the opposite end of vampires, they have a very short lifetime.
Sad.
How long do
And-
butterflies live anyway?
Like
3
3
months.
days.
Oh, days? I
I
thought
don't
it was
even know.
months.
You would know. You're the expert. Yeah.
I thought it was 3 months.
I just know.
That's
Sorry,
too
I'm
long,
thinking of
though.
like fruit flies, but like it's very small.
I'm
it's
pretty
a very
yeah.
short
Fruit
time.
flies are very different.
And it's like so beautiful because it's beautiful. But like the idea, like here's this thing that's like fleeting. Anyway, I'm drunk again. So, yeah.
No, you have to.
Finish the
continue.
thought.
I
Okay.
think
I wanted to say
I
that
think
it
you
was-
in another life would want to be a butterfly.
Yeah, because you'd only live it for like 3 days.
Because you would live it up for a few days, and then you'd be like,
And it'd be
okay,
really
it's over.
No,
pretty,
so
and then
that's
that's
actually
it.
why. Because like, all right, so you spend all this time getting all this money. So it's like imagining working your ass off to like 70, and then having 3 months of retirement, and then you die.
That pretty much explains life as we know it.
Yeah, well, life, you just you get your golden years. Here we have like our golden weeks, and I'm like, we're done. Yeah, stupid.
This is so much sadder than Twilight, and
Yeah.
Twilight was pretty sad to begin
That's
with.
fine.
I don't know. I don't think it would be too appealing to be a butterfly.
Really?
You ever watch a Bug's Life where it's like,
I
look at
hate it.
me, I'm a beautiful butterfly.
So I don't like insects. Okay, all right. I'll hold it.
You're
Okay,
bugging.
I'll hold it.
Because it's like day and night when like we can't hear you.
You don't like insects. Yeah, because then it sounds like I'm talking about beautiful butterfly to myself. And it's a little
So
weird.
I don't like insects, and I can stand them, and I couldn't stand that movie because I don't want to see human-like insects because then
You don't want to see happy insects. You just want
I-
to see them die.
I just want to
Nice.
see them how they are. I don't want to see them die. I just want them to leave me alone. Is that too much to ask?
Yes.
Yeah, just
I think it
just,
is
Because
actually.
they're part of
Really?
life, dude.
Just leave me alone. That's all I want.
You know, when you were born, they were like, oh, we got this new guy in the ecosystem, and it's going to
Yeah, I
screw
got it.
everything up. So,
I honestly think I am an anomaly.
Me too. Yeah, dude.
in,
Look,
like,
we're all
reality.
outliers.
oh, you're
Outliers,
definitely an
yeah.
anomaly.
Like
You're something.
sometimes and you might find this interesting. I was driving the other day. I remember exactly where I was. I was
Watch
actually
out,
near.
guys.
I was actually near you.
No, watch the roads. Him
Over.
driving.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
joking. Sorry. And, yeah, see? Awkward. Anyway, carry on.
I was actually near you. I was getting my hair cut, and
You pointing to Bella?
yes, I'm
Okay.
I'm pointing at Bella, and I was
Like
I was
when
driving
you're being
around,
from the story,
and I thought to myself, like, what if all of this, right, is a virtual reality, and by virtual reality,
You're gonna love.
yeah, I mean that clearly I'm too stupid to fucking be alive, and it's like only a miracle that I've managed to
you.
keep myself alive
Yep.
this long.
Yep.
So clearly, at some point, I must have died.
Yeah.
Right, and my parents were so upset
They
that
just
correct they've kept me on life support or something like that, and they wanted to give me like the best version of a life I can, and so and this is the sad part, right? In terms of virtual reality, they can give you your perfect life, right? And they gave me that, but I am such a fuck up.
You're still here.
My life is mediocre at
Yep,
best
at
because I
best.
keep fucking
Even-
it up.
even with
at
all
every
that,
point.
yeah.
yeah, and I was thinking about that, and I was like,
That's fired. Okay.
Westworld. Like Westworld.
exactly,
Westworld, yeah.
yeah.
No spoilers. I haven't seen it yet.
It's amazing.
It is
so
amazing. We didn't
amazing.
spoil much for you, but I'm,
No, we didn't spoil anything.
Yeah.
No, it's
It's
okay.
an amazing show.
it is an amazing show. But I was thinking about that, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is the only thing that explains my existence.
Correct. Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like in fact, just
Wait,
like,
you're saying that you're so dumb, you're too dumb to live, so you're
No.
actually not really living.
No, no.
Correct.
He's saying even with all these like advantages, like because like again, this world has been designed for him.
Right.
All right. And, you
Oh,
know,
and he's still failing
he's still
miserably.
doing this.
That sounds about right.
I mean, same. It's okay.
That tracks. Yeah.
We chose law school, so.
Yeah. That's my baby.
It's,
Oh, it's my favorite new phrase. That tracks.
it's like
Right? Yeah, me too. Yeah,
it's
me
like
too.
that
Also-
tracks.
it's like the virtual reality
TikTok
people
too?
send you two options.
Oh no. All right.
I just. say
And
that.
one option is really, it's like they steer you in that direction, and there's one crappy option because there has to be, and
Yep.
you're like, da-da-da.
Yeah,
You go
but it's like
right
they've made it
for the bad
very
one.
hard to get the crappy option. But you know what? Maybe I should be proud.
You should.
If it was so hard to get the
Exactly.
crappy
And
option,
you still, yeah.
I've beaten the odds.
Exactly.
Wow.
So like the way I see it, right? Life is like this. You ever play this game called
Way
Line
to
Runner?
take life and turn it in lemons and turn it into
Holy
lemonade.
shit.
Exactly.
Oh,
That's
God.
all there is to. I mean, listen. Life is going. There is no way you can be amazing, right? So the best thing you should strive for is just sustenance, just sustaining yourself.
Just mediocre.
Like mediocrity is what this country was built on. Okay.
Yeah.
Just a few exceptional elites just carry the rest of us on their backs, and then that's it. That's America in a nutshell.
Hamilton.
Look that way. Shoot in
Hamilton.
that direction.
Hamilton. That was the guy who like got an honorary degree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry, I asked a question
I didn't know
earlier
that.
about
Okay.
that.
Well, there you go.
Now we know.
I
Yeah.
was
Yeah, because he was like so good at
rewatching
law.
last night.
Yeah.
Because I am a nerd.
So I know that it's incredibly weird for a person to think about that, but those are the things I,
did
think
no,
about.
no. So that's
right?
called derealization, and it's happening a lot
Yeah,
now.
it's like that. It's like that meme where it's like the guy's like kind of turned over, and the girl's like, I bet he's thinking about other girls, but like
Meanwhile.
meanwhile,
So it's actually funny. So I had this thought when I was like an actual.
hey, Mr.
Oh, we were
Sit
doing
down.
code
Sorry,
names.
sorry,
I
sorry.
outed him.
Mr. Orange.
Mr. Orange.
Mr. Orange.
Hey, meet my really close friend.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Also, it's a law school friend. Look, I'm going to turn over the.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
turn on
I'm
you
going
for a
to.
bit.
I want to turn over the mic to.
So we will continue the topic of derealization, and I was just going to say, so basically what you missed is, what is it, like TLDR, like too long didn't read? Okay, so TLDR,
We're all living
you
in sim, bro.
are, so he was saying that he's not, his theory is that he's too stupid to live, so he actually couldn't have possibly lived this long, so he's assuming that his parents have put him on life support, and that he has now been transported to an alternate reality where things are made for his life to go well, but that he's so incapable of following directions and being, a functioning member of this real, VR society, that he has just chosen to fail at everything he's done.
Okay,
And
so
managed to defy the odds and fail.
It sounds
Defied.
to me like a classic multiverse theory. Where there's
Yeah,
an
well-
infinite number of them, and you happen to be in the one where you somehow manage to escape the constantly crumbling building.
Yes.
Yeah, but
Well,
I'm saying
he's
like
in the crumbling building
not
because he
only
doesn't know how to deal with it.
not only is he in the only beneficial universe for him, this universe is also actively going out of its way to make it easier for him, and he's still failing.
He's just not. It's basically like he's just not cooperating.
Yeah, he just does not want to do it anymore. So one of our mics is super. I lost the level, and so one of you guys are gonna be screaming while the other one's gonna be whispering.
That's fine.
So I'm trying to find out who's who.
I think I'm quiet now. Oh no, there we go.
You're 4.
So I was saying, it's funny because I was going to say, and then he walked in, that basically I had this, even as a young child, I had this whole concept, and I didn't have a name for it, of derealization.
Yeah.
In a sense, I was playing, or actually it might be something else, but I was playing with, remember those Playmobiles? They're not Legos, but they're
Yes.
also those plastic,
I remember them.
the
Jukebox.
the hospital set.
Oh,
and
okay, yeah.
the,
Yeah.
Mega Block.
Mega blocks.
Mega Blocks, yeah.
No.
No, something different.
Playmobil are the little kids.
This is the upper-
little kids that are kind of plasticky and you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's basically Legos, and I was basically playing with these little, I had a castle Lego thing, and I was playing with the little people, and I sat there and I had a moment of realization. I was like, what if someone is doing this to us?
Yeah. Mhm.
As
Master Hand too.
a 9-year-old, and it was a little disturbing. It's a little disturbing now that I had that thought as a child, but I still have that thought sometimes. I'm like,
Yeah.
what if we are the play pieces
That's
for
sort of
someone
the
else?
implication.
It's crazy.
That's the implication, in my opinion. The whole reason why we have play sets is so that we can ponder. I remember all right, no, hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. I'm gonna get really mad. So Socrates, right? He when asked.
Cool dude.
Yeah, cool dude,
Yep.
whatever. When asked why does why do the stars exist if we can't reach them? And he's like, oh, it's there to teach us math.
Oh my god.
The implication being that by noticing that it's always static, it's always moving, you can figure out a whole bunch of natural laws and like that. And so that's how I feel about action figures. Action figures, why the faction? They're entertaining, but they're also there to help us realize that we're not the biggest fish in the pond. There are those the same way we're playing with these little fucking toys, moving things around. There's something else. Yeah, dude.
No, that's the thought I had as a kid.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I was like, whoa, mind
You can point to
blown.
developer intent in that, where it's you can point to developer intent in saying that, hey, these toys were developed to teach these people, these kids, an existentialist fucking theory.
Yeah.
Really? No.
I didn't need
No.
any more existential dread that I was already born with. Thank you.
That's the reason why, for instance, things like Disney exist, right? Disney does the opposite. It goes out of its way to make you feel like you're the king of your own world, right?
Well, the Disney stories are based on the
Yeah.
Grimm
Grimm
brothers
brothers.
stories, and those did not end
Yeah,
well.
they're much more tamed. In comparison to that.
Well, my friend whose name I do not remember that is sitting to my right.
Christian.
My friend Christian.
Acquaintance.
Christian. I believe, given my friend Christian's reactions, that I may be a little bit cynical, like my friend Christian, about the.
Everybody take a shot every time Mr. Orange says Christian.
Yeah.
I think I also
Sorry,
may be
continue.
a little bit more cynical.
Mr. Orange, I really can't hear. Wait, all right. So I'm gonna loan.
Can you just eat the microphone, please?
Yeah. All right, just say A, B, C, D, and consistently up until until it's top.
A, B, C, D, A,
I think you're 3. Okay.
C,
There you are. All right. Okay. Got
D.
you now.
Yeah.
All right.
A.
Apologies, Mr. No, I'm down. And I'm back in play. Okay. All right.
Anyway, so
Much better.
I think I'm a little bit more cynical in that I don't necessarily think action figures were made for those purposes, but I do like the idea that they can also serve those kind of purposes. They are, regardless of why the companies make them, there is definitely an element of creativity there. Things like action figures, those are a medium of entertainment as opposed to something more electronic like video games or like television, right? And a really good thing about action figures is that, and your playhouse, right, is that it fosters more of a sense of imagination in kids and allows them to be able to think for themselves, right? Other than mediums that kind of, they're cool, but they deprive you of the sense of imagination when you just have everything right there that's transpiring in front of you.
Which is exactly what's wrong with kids these days.
Exactly.
They don't know.
They really, that's actually it. So kids nowadays have access to everything, literally everything. So creativity is going to either be stifled or reserved. Like, the only way I can see us moving on as a society is if we willingly forget everything and then just leave clues like
so basically
America,
Divergent?
Yeah. No, not even Divergent. Like literal not even Fallout. But like imagine like in One Piece, right, where there's this idea of the null void century, where they basically cut out an entire century from our history, and then forgot all the technologies, and then the idea is us refining it and then rebuilding it. That's the only way I can see us sustaining ourselves, because we've peaked in terms of like culture, which is like a big thing to say. But like it's a huge claim, but I feel like we've actually peaked in terms of culture.
It's so hard to judge where we are in the moment, because you can look back 25, 30 years ago to a time in the world where there was no Amazon, there was no Starbucks, there was not prevalent internet, and they would say, wow, we've, or a time where they say color TV, we've peaked. It's so hard to be able to judge in. But
you're looking at technology, right? I'm not saying technology. Technology-wise, we are still advancing. I'm saying in terms of culture, like actual, like there's only so many ways we can tell the hero's journey that we've already like freaking like exhausted it all. Now we just have to forget it all and sort of just hope for the best. Like hope that it's true, that it is innate in our like biology, that we will remember it ourselves. Like I don't know. Like I like to think of a day where like hopefully eventually we'll like create the MCU or as like a freaking new religion or something like that. Jediism. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if you had seen the most recent MCU movie, the new Black Widow that recently came out.
No spoilers.
I won't spoil, but I will say it definitely struck a very different tone than the previous 30 MCU movies or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was excellent. I would say.
Really?
Yeah.
You're the first person to say who actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
I would probably love it, but I don't.
There's a little bit more I would love to say, but I don't want to spoil, obviously.
Thank you.
I love
Appreciate
it.
you.
I love it for personal reasons, because I had a moment that was echoed in that
You mean
thing.
Christian?
Huh?
Christian?
So, oh shit! Sorry. Okay, I gotta log this time down. All right, 32 seconds, 32 minutes. Okay, I'll all right, you can bleep that part out. Okay.
But my point of bringing that up is that there you have something that maybe it seemed to have peaked, especially with Avengers Endgame, right? And I think there was definitely a bit of a new tone, new direction that they went with this one.
So, all right. So, what MCU is doing now, right, is that they're basically setting up the next generation of like heroes, right? But they're all just rehashes of the current iteration of heroes. So that's what I mean by saying we've peaked. We've basically taken the same story and just going to be like rehashing it in like a new thing. And so like if you've seen enough MCU, you've seen enough. You've seen them all. Like I agree, the first 30 are probably like all unique standpoint like stories. But like the new ones are just going to be reiterations, and that's a conscious thought on the MCU part. They do it for the new fans.
Yeah, there's going to be a new generation. And I know you mentioned Jediism earlier, because I'm guessing you're a big Star Wars fan as well. And as I'm sure you know, that the Star Wars movies were kind of tribute to old B movies that that Lucas used to grow up on. And people that are my generation at least, and a lot of people of the current generation.
Which generation is that?
Are
Please
you
classify.
Yeah, specify, because this will
Unclear.
be it's for posterity.
So you got like 17 different generations in this podcast right now.
Unfortunately, we are all millennials.
Yes. Oh wait, there's a question. Okay.
That's Gen Z.
What is all right? What song do you think of when you think of the words "all around me are familiar faces"?
Flyleaf. Oh, just kidding. Never
What?
mind. No.
Sorry,
Nope.
no, all around me. Sorry, all around me. What word do you think of?
That song.
This is an old song.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's apparently a Gen Z song now.
No.
They've co-opted it.
Wrong. Incorrect.
They've
That's
co-opted
the
it.
wrong opinion.
That's a lie.
Sorry.
What you first said was what the millennials should have said.
I've never even heard that song.
Yeah.
I guess
Flyleaf, very
I guess,
good band.
I guess I'm very culturally devoid.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know. I disagree with culture being dead because we've killed off so
No,
many
not-
cultures.
yeah,
Well, no,
yeah.
I get what, okay, pop culture, I'll give you that
Yeah.
one, but like if you're talking, I don't know, you know, in general, new cultural things, I disagree, but that's also because I'm very, you know, like I love international stuff, so
Okay,
for me
yeah.
it's very
So you're still
different.
cultured. Okay, cool.
Well, yeah, I would hope. I don't know.
Because
how,
like first,
you
like
know,
all right,
but-
so like in the advent of new IP, right? You got reboot over reboot over reboot, right?
yeah,
Did I use that word correctly?
I don't know what IP is.
Intellectual property.
Oh, literally,
Yeah.
is that what that was? Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like everything is like, you know, you got your Fast Nines coming out now. You got your, I mean, the MCU, because the MCU is a very different, because the MCU has something that it draws from. It has like a shit ton of backlogs to draw from, so it's very lucky in that sense. But everyone else, you know, even Disney was built over, you know, on fucking Grimm and shit like that. So like, there's only so many times you can rehash a story before it gets stale. Like they even joke about it in Deadpool, like, oh, from the studio that brought you know,
Loved it.
Lion King and Lion King, the fucking live action movie.
You know, my thing
Lion King 1.5.
Great movie.
Elite.
My thing about all of this is, if you're talking about rehashes, we've been rehashing the hero's journey since forever,
Yeah.
like forever. And yet, with every generation, we've like made changes to the hero's journey. Well, the core schematic is still the same, right? You start off at point A, you have a character arc, and you end at point B, right? And that's the hero's journey. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Right. The arc is the problem, and
I'm saying we're not even there anymore. I'm sorry.
He lowered it.
Yeah, lower- I got
Yeah,
lower
you
here
can.
for you.
Yeah. Anyway,
yeah, but like it's been around since ancient times, and we've just made our own spin on it. And I think that we can continue to make our own spin on it. We've been rehashing the same shit since time immemorial, is what I'm saying. And yet here we are, right? And yet we've seen culture evolve since those times. So I don't think that this is the end of culture. That we've reached like an apex that we can.
So what I'm saying is that in the face of all that, like in the face of us even rehashing it, we still opt to do reboots and sequels rather than creating new content. And that's the issue we feel like with culture being dead.
Now, I completely agree with you especially when it comes to the movie industry. And I was thinking about this the other day, and it's interesting how you bring up, you know, like Fast 9 and all of the how a lot of the movies that come out. I noticed in particular that a lot of the movies that come out are either based on an IP or they're based on a true story, historical event. Right? There is something that can tie to familiarity with everybody. And in my opinion, the reason of that is because as movies become bigger and bigger budget, it gets much harder for people that are pitching the idea to be able to justify spending so much money on it unless they can say it was based on a book, so it's going to sell. It's based on a true story. It's based on IP, right? And I think that's also kind of where you see the opposite of what's happening in the theaters happening on all the streaming services that are coming up with all the original content over the past, 10 years or so. You see a lot more original things coming out on services like Netflix and
Correct.
Amazon.
Yeah, Netflix is giving out budgets to anybody with a camera, essentially. They've come out with more content in the last year than I think all the other studios combined. That's like
I don't think
high praise.
most of it's. I don't think most of it's good.
Exactly. Yeah.
They haven't had time to watch most of it.
With more quantity, you get shittier quality. But what was I going to ask? Oh, so all right. Follow up then. With the next, okay, so you know how like 50 Shades is just a rehashing of
Sorry.
Twilight, which they just
Yep.
It's the other way around, isn't it?
no.
No, 50 Shades. Yeah.
50
so
Shades is based on
what if we just did that?
Twilight and everything. It's terrible. There's no plot.
What if we just did that? Just started like find different places.
Well,
It happened, right? Othello.
Othello,
There
yeah.
so many, there was that.
the
modern
Amanda
take on
Bynes
Othello,
movies, right? Yeah.
What she? Oh well, here's the thing with Amanda Bynes, because Amanda Bynes. All right, so there was a generation when literally Shakespeare was the shit. Like I can't
Right,
remember, but no one
right.
knew it was Shakespeare, and that was
Right.
cool because they kind of like secretly like threw Shakespeare like, hey, this is why he was decorated as like the bard for like all these years. Like
Yeah.
here's a story rehashed, and even though you thought you would have hated it, here you are fucking giving it like a Teen Choice Award or something like that.
Is this like
It's like a bait and switch.
She's the Man?
She's the
or-
man.
What a
Yeah.
Girl
What a
Wants,
Girl
I think.
Wants.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Is it kind of like how they tricked us into liking D&D with KOTOR?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I have no idea
Yeah.
what that means.
Me neither. I know D&D, but I didn't get the
KOTOR is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. It is a video game that uses the same D&D system, but it's a video game, so it's not like pen and
Gotcha.
paper like D&D. And,
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
and then when you learn the mechanics behind it, when you're older, you'll go, oh, wow, that's that thing that everyone does. So.
Right.
Reductive. That was the word. I wanted to say it to you
Reductive,
earlier.
yes.
Productive.
No, reductive.
Oh, reductive.
Reductive?
What?
Because you keep diminishing things. You keep
No,
knocking things down.
she simplifies them.
Yes.
Which is like
That's not
great
reductive.
because
Is that not the meaning of reductive? It is.
I took it a different way.
Deductive is taking.
No,
some-
not deductive.
Not deductive. Reductive.
Reductive.
That's why
you know?
I've never heard it used that way, but
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway,
Math.
yeah. I don't do math. That's why I'm in law school.
That's why you're in law.
Uh,
1 + 1 = 7, right?
Which is funny because
As long
then
as you
they
can pay for
actually
it.
do want you to do math. It's like, haha, joke's on you.
Wills.
Wait, how is billing done?
I don't know. Don't know.
Oh,
Don't
the
care, don't
lodestar
wanna know.
method.
Billing.
I'm
I'm gonna.
I've been
Lo-
studying for
Billing
the.
is-
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, it depends. Oh, you're starting for the MPRE.
Yeah, I'm studying for the ethics exam.
Oh, good.
one more Brooklyn, please?
Can I have a water, please?
You don't want to drink?
Yeah. Water's good.
Can I get a Moscow? I'm gonna have to Brooklyn. Wait, shouldn't be one. Sorry.
I'll get a drink later. But yeah. So there is a what our good friend Katniss
Katniss, yes.
was referring to.
I'm glad you got it right.
I got it right this
So
time.
proud.
There is a
No, I think Primrose, sorry.
in order. So it's funny, everyone says that lawyers are so scummy and unethical and all that stuff.
Dude, they banned you in 2015.
Yeah, of course.
According to Back to the
But
Future,
so there is a Oh, hello.
Hey.
Wait.
What's up, dude?
Oh, they're gonna laugh at me for what I'm about to finish my sentence. So anyway, so there is an exam that all future lawyers need to take in order to sit for the bar, and it's essentially the ethics exam.
Okay.
So I'm studying for it because I'm taking it in about a month, and
Good luck.
and and you do learn about the billing of how lawyers bill, and it's this thing called the lodestar method, which. That's kind of the extent of my knowledge right now because I'm trying to put it out of my head.
I'm pretty sure lodestar method is rate per hour times number of hours, and that's for an award in a case, right? Lodestar.
Yes.
Yeah.
It depends. Sometimes it's contingency, sometimes it's hourly. So sometimes you'll,
Okay.
So
when people say I have a retainer with so and so, that just means that I have this many credits or this many hours, or let's say your rate is like $100 an hour, and I have 10K with you retainer. It means I can potentially go for you for like 100 hours, or just retain your services for 100 hours, or how does that work?
not too sure on exactly the
Okay.
tech.
I believe that's correct.
Yes. And it's in the lawyer's interest to just spend that money, right? It's in the lawyer's interest to spend that money.
Well, they don't spend it. They they have to account for the hours of research they do,
you're
or
saying-
writing, or meetings, and all
All
that
right.
You're
stuff.
saying it would behoove them to
I love that word, by the
use.
way.
I love that word.
Yeah.
You're saying it would behoove them to get as much out of that as possible. So use all those hours.
Yeah.
So I would argue
Opt
no.
for maybe let's say a higher end specialist, or
No,
like
I would argue the
witness.
opposite. Think about it. You want, you have a retainer agreement, but do you want to, what would happen? Say, let's think about it differently. What would happen if you got work done in less time? You still did good work
Yeah.
and you got it done in less time and you came in
Yes.
under budget.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Wouldn't you want to come in under budget? Because at the end of the
Ideally.
day, the client's
Ideally.
going to be happier
Yeah.
if you come in under budget.
Yes.
They're
and
going
you
to
now
want
have more time to spend elsewhere.
Yeah,
on
and,
other
and they're
cases.
going to want to do work with you in the future. So
But
More
like,
important-
how
more importantly,
often
they're
do
gonna
I retain
leave-
the services of a lawyer? Assuming that I retain services.
Well,
of a lawyer.
having a
depends
lawyer
on-
on retainer. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I'll just finish. Basically, it depends. It depends on, are you a company that generally
So,
retains a lawyer to review contracts?
Let me give you an example. Perfect example. All right. So my father has a lawyer that we have on retainer. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. But like every we send them like a happy Eid card like that. But that's about it. Like we have and in the worst case scenario, should we ever need the services, like the first 7 hours are paid for, something like that. Like at least that's my understanding.
Yeah.
Of it. But like even if he comes under budget, how often am I going to be using his services? Again, assuming
hopefully not
that
frequently.
I've only ever used him for let's say a parking ticket or something like that, or like
Yeah, hopefully you're not going to have to use them frequently, but there are some types of businesses, and some people say you run a
Then
business.
don't they have their own
and
general counsel on their staff on the
Yeah,
payroll?
but not everybody.
Not
Not
always.
everybody, and not everybody uses general counsel. So
My company uses it.
But I think the idea is. Oh, sorry.
Are you going to get this last thought in?
Yeah, last thing. I think the idea of why you wouldn't use everything is because if you do, and the client can find a better lawyer, better price somewhere else, they're going to do that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you are incentivized.
But don't I have to spend time, let's say, gearing or giving the wouldn't I have spend time gearing up the lawyer to become familiar with my case? Like, let's say if I had hired the services of Mr. Orange, and then let's say halfway through I find it's great, I still have to spend time bringing Christian Oquendo up to speed, and that is a lot of billable hours that I could have just been spending on my original lawyer, Mr. Orange.
Well, you would be the one spending the money.
Also,
right?
is there any good faith between Mr. Orange and Chris Oquendo? Like, let's say, hey, listen, I understand that.
There are
my clients-
confidentiality requirements, and there's actually a whole set of rules. There's actually kind of a separate set, but they're very similar, of duties of confidentiality that you owe to clients versus potential clients. So if you just come to me and we consult, but I don't take on your case yet, if you tell me things, I still owe you duties of confidentiality. I cannot discuss with Mr. Christian or anyone else.
Okay, all right. And with that, we're going to be pausing, or maybe ending. But until then, thank you for listening to us. This was Chris Oquendo, Mr. Orange, Katniss Everdeen, Bella Swan, and Scott Pilgrim signing off. Thank you very much. Take care.
Bye.